For me, being a part of the program has been life-changing. It's definitely given me a new meaning in the way of a position back into community, in a way that I can have a healthy environment and create healthy relationships back in community that have been challenging at times to maintain with the environment that I grew up in. And so where I'm from, North Stradbroke Island, is an island off Brisbane. And that was a place of refuge for a lot of us, and especially for me as a young fella growing up on the south side of Brisbane. I'd often go back there on school holidays as a kid, and I'd just feel free, and I'd feel, that connection I had as a young fella growing up on country. But then also knowing in community the impacts that were there, the tools that I was given to cope with those struggles, whether it was smoking yandi, drinking, taking drugs. And those were the tools that I was given. And it wasn't until I went away and I first met Smart Recovery, and then when I got out of my addiction retreat and I had to leave my community because I was sick and tired of going back to those old coping strategies, and I had to leave my home and all the things that I had built for me and my family, and I've had to reset my whole life, my whole structure, my whole mindset, and do it in a way where I couldn't go back to those old coping strategies, where I wouldn't allow myself to revert to those old ways. And it wasn't until it was about a year, I was a year out roughly of my own journey, and still trying to set healthy boundaries, within that structure, within my own family, my direct family, but also my extended family as well. And I think the type of person I was always a giver, and always felt like I had to, help everyone. And I was always left with nothing to then trying to understand why am I always feeling drained from always giving. And so it wasn't until I was able to, identify and start to set these boundaries that it was a life and death situation for me, and that I couldn't allow myself to continue that cycle for myself, but then for my own children, and then do it in a way that I'm being respectful as well to my people, but also not just my people, but my family. And it wasn't until my 30th birthday when I lost my mother from a methamphetamine toxicity. And that was that light bulb moment for me. It's when I said, no, I can't keep doing this. I can't keep living this life, continuing this cycle for my children to watch. And I wouldn't allow myself to go back to those old ways. But I think for me, again, whether it's a cultural obligation for us as blackfellas, I feel it's expected that we just, give until we've got nothing, and then we're left with nothing, and then we're down and out. But I've learnt now that I need to be okay to then help others. And by setting up structures like Yarn Smart or Smart Recovery, that's the way I can give back And I think knowing that it's going to take time to build these structures back into community and reinstate these positions for our mothers, for our fathers, for our people, and create these role models for change. So for me, it's about investing into those spaces with meaning. And, you know, I think it comes back to building trust and building those structures again, yeah, with meaning. Yeah.